In this video, we are going to discuss dynamic data structure, that is linked list. So up till now, whatever logics we were discussing for different types of linear data structures, all those logics we had implemented using the static data structure, or static way I would say rather, with help of array, okay, which was a preliminary data structure we can say. But we can also have data structures that are dynamic in nature, and we call those data structures as linked list. Okay, so basically what is linked list? Linked list is basically a list which is collection of nodes. So next question comes, what is node, right? So node can be of variety of types, and depending upon the type of node, we have different types of linked list, as singly linked list, doubly linked list, and circular linked list. As far as a default type of linked list is concerned, when I say only linked list, we are referring to singly linked list, right? So our today's topic of discussion will be dealing with the first type of linked list, which we call it as singly linked list, right? So in a singly linked list, this singly linked list will be collection of nodes, and the node in a singly linked list is said to be comprising of two parts. Okay, so one part of that node is said to have data. Okay, now this data can be of any data type. Okay, so it can be a numeric data, it can be a floating point data, it can be character data, right? So any kind of data we can store in that particular field. And the second part of this node is basically a link. Second part is basically a link, and this link is for the next node. Basically this link is pointing to the next node. This link is pointing to the next node. So we will be having collection of nodes, as I stated, right? So I'll be having first node of my linked list, say for example, okay, imagine I am having numeric data into it. Suppose this is 10. Then I have second node in my linked list, right? So this second node will also have some data. Suppose that data is 20. Suppose I have third node in my linked list. Okay, suppose that third node is having data 30. Okay, so how do I connect these nodes together? I need certain link to connect these nodes together, right? And this link field is used in order to connect these nodes together. So link of the first node will be pointing to my second node. Link of the second node will be pointing to my third node. Similarly, link of the third node will be pointing to my fourth node, and so on. Okay, so this is how this collection of nodes is created, and together this collection of nodes is called as linked list. Now this linked list has to start from somewhere and it has to end somewhere. So we need to have some property which will help us define the first node or the starting node of our linked list, and also we should have some property which will help us to define the last node or the ending node of our linked list, right? So the node whose next field is say pointing to null, such node is called as the last node. Okay, so in our example here we can see that the node 40, node containing data 40, uh, can be defined as the last node of our linked list, because the next of this particular node is pointing to null. Okay, this is the property how we define that particular node as the last node. Similarly, in order to identify the first node of our linked list, we use one external reference pointer called as start. Okay, what is start? Start is external reference pointer. Okay, it is a pointer variable basically, or you can say it is a type of link also, right? So what these are also pointers basically. These all fields, all these links are pointer. Similarly, this start is also a pointer which is pointing to the first node or the starting node of our linked list. Now what we should understand here is very important, that this start is not a node. Okay, this start is not a node. This start is just an external reference pointer. Which is the starting node for that matter? This is the starting node. Even if you see a start here, we should not call this as a node. What is this? This is a pointer, and this pointer is pointing to the starting node. So in this particular diagram, which you can see right now on your screen, we have only 4 nodes. First node is 10, containing data 10, second node is containing data 20, third node 30, and fourth node is 40. Okay, so there are only 4 nodes, and starting node is this node itself. Okay, so what is this start? Start is an external reference pointer which is useful to identify the first node or the starting node of our linked list. In continuation, the link of the first node will be pointing to second node, link of second node will point to third node, link of third will point to fourth, fourth will point to fifth, and so on till your linked list is finishing, right? So wherever your linked list will finish, that time the next link of the last node will be pointing to null, because we don't have any next node to it, right? So the concept is the link of that particular node will be pointing to null. Are you getting this? Now, in order to create this type of linked list in our C, we have to use concept of structure. Okay. Now, what I need to do is I need to represent this node in my C. Okay. My requirement is I want to represent this node in my C, right? So, what is node? Let us understand. What are the components of node? There are two components of node. The first component is data, right? So, we have considered numeric data. So, int data we can say. What is the next field? Next field is a link, or it is a pointer, right? Now one is integer and another is a pointer. One is integer and another is a pointer. So they are heterogeneous in nature. And if you could recollect, if I want to club two heterogeneous elements together, we go for structures in C, right? So we need to use concept of structure in order to represent our node. So we are creating this structure for node. So I declare this as struct node. Like we create structure for students, like struct student and so on. Similarly, here we are constructing structure for node, and that's why we are writing it as struct node. What are element of this structure? What is the first element? It is data. What is data? It is numeric data for us, right? So I'll declare the first element of this structure as int data. I'll declare the first element of this structure as int data. What is the second element? Second element is a pointer. Okay, it is pointing to what? What it is pointing to? It is pointing to another node. Every link you can see. What is this link pointing to? This link is pointing to another node. This link is pointing to another node. This link is pointing to another node, right? So objective of this pointer link inside this particular node is to point to another node, and that another node is also of same type, right? This link is pointing to another node whose structure is also of same type, which is nothing but this node itself, right? So we have to declare this pointer variable, right? So I declare this pointer variable over here. What name I give to this pointer variable? We are using this pointer variable to point to the next node, and that's why I am giving some meaningful name here called as next. Like I have given some meaningful name to my data. Okay, I can give any variable name like ABC also, but we try to give some meaningful name. As I have given some meaningful name to my data over here, similarly I am giving some meaningful name. This is not the keyword of C, that I want to make it clear, right? So this is pointer to next. Now this pointer variable is pointing to which type of data? It is pointing to what? It is pointing to same type of structure, right? It is pointing to same type of structure, and that's why I declare this pointer variable as same type of structures, that is struct node. If I create a pointer variable to integer, if I create a pointer variable which is pointing to integer, how we declare that pointer variable? Int star ptr, right? So ptr will be pointing to a data which is of integer type. Similarly, this next pointer is pointing to what? It is pointing to another structure which is of same type, and that's why we write it as struct node point star next. Okay, now we can type this struct node to some other notation, so that in the program we can avoid writing struct node every time, because we are going to see a lot of operations using this single linked list, right? So every time writing struct node will become difficult, so we can type def it to some other smaller notations, and we can go for creating first external reference pointer using this. And initially when our linked list will be empty, that time this external reference pointer start itself will be pointing to null. So whenever our linked list is empty, what will be our situation? Our situation will be that start itself will be pointing to null, because there are no nodes in my linked list. My linked list is empty. So later on we'll create our nodes, right? So my first node will come, that is 10, then my second node will come, that is 20, and so on, right? So but before starting we have to initialize something, right? So our initialization is my linked list is empty, and when my linked list is empty, the concept is start itself is pointing to null. Start itself is pointing to null in that case, right? So let us try to create this environment of our node before we proceed to different operations of linked list, right? We are going to study different operations of our linked list, but before we deal with those operations, let us write logic for this much part of our code, right? So let us move now to the programming environment over here. So we are trying to implement here a singly linked list. What we are trying to implement here is singly linked list. So we are going to see different types of operations in singly linked list, right? So let us include our standard input output libraries into it. And now I am creating a structure. Now I am creating this structure as a global variable, because this program I am going to implement with the concept of function, because we are going to see lot of function, we are going to see lot of operations, right? As we have seen operations for stack and queue. If you remember, for stack we saw 3 operations, that is push, pop, and traverse. For queue we have seen again 3 operations, that is enqueue, dequeue, and traverse. In linked list we are going to see total 7 different operations, right? So all these operations if I add in same main function, then my code will become very bulky in nature, right? So I will not be able to read my code properly. So let us write this code in the form of function. And if I divide this code in the form of function, I need to make use of global variables. And that's why I'm writing this particular structure in global variable and not inside main, so that this structure node can be accessible across all the functions of my program. So how I declare this structure? Struct node, okay? And what are components of this? That is integer data, as I stated, and second is pointer to the next node. Now we are going to type def this struct node to capital node, and this capital node I'll be using as a label now henceforth wherever I want to use struct node in my program. So first I will declare one external reference pointer called as start, and I will initialize this external reference pointer to null. I'll initialize this external reference pointer to null. Okay, I can do this initialization inside my main function also. Okay, so better to do it inside our main function. So this is how we have created a global variable for our and here we will be having our main function where we are going to create different nodes for us, right? So initially we'll have only one node pointer, that is start, which will be pointing to null, and we'll be creating more such nodes later on in our discussion. So hope you have understood how we have declared this particular node in the form of C, okay, in the form of C. So now let us go back to the concept. Okay, now initially our linked list is empty, start is pointing to null. Now we have to do different operations on our linked list. What are different operations? Either we have to insert or we have to delete, right? But here in case of linked list, we have different varieties of inserts and different varieties of deletes, right? We call them as create and delete operations. We call them as create and delete operations. So for creating and deleting, we have 3 different variants. We have create at start, create at end, and create at given location. Similarly, we have delete at start, delete at end, and delete at given locations. So these 6 operations we have to see for singly linked list. I again repeat, what are those 6 operations? Create at start, create at end, and create at given location. Similarly, delete at start, delete at end, and delete at given location. So let us start with the first operation in this. So first let us see the first type of operation, that is create at start. Create at start. Now for 3 types of creates that we are dealing with, okay, whenever we want to create, we need to allocate memory for that particular node. We all know that this is a dynamic data structure, right? And if this is a dynamic data structure, it is our responsibility that whenever you want to create a particular node, first we should allocate memory for that particular node. And the function that we are going to use in order to do this is malloc from our C, right? So we'll be using malloc function from our C to allocate memory for that particular node, right? So every time when I'm visualizing of create operation, I'll be calling that node which I am currently trying to create as P. Okay, so I am going to declare one reference pointer in my program now, that is P. What is P? P is a node which I am currently trying to create. It is a reference pointer for me, right? The way we declare variables usually, like int I or int temp, right, for some temporary calculations. Similarly, for performing a create operation, we are using one reference pointer called as P, which helps us to understand P is the current node which we are trying to create. Okay, now when we are trying to create, there might at start there might be two situations. Suppose I execute the program and immediately I go for create at start. So currently my linked list is empty, there is nothing in my linked list, correct? So this would be one of the situation. What is the first situation? That currently my linked list is empty. What is the situation? Situation is currently my linked list is empty, and when my linked list is empty, we all know that start itself is pointing to null. Start itself is pointing to null. Now in this situation, this is the node which I am trying to create. I call this node as P, right? So P is this external reference pointer for me. Okay, how I'll get this P? By using syntax of malloc. What is the syntax of malloc? I'll tell you when I go back to the program. So malloc takes argument as size, so we'll pass size of node, and we are going to allocate memory for this particular P. And how I can access the data of this P? By writing P's data and P's next. So I'll show here. So if I create this node P, and if I want to access data inside this particular P, what notation I am going to use from my C? P's data. So this is how I am going to access the field data inside P. And how I will access the next link? By writing P's next. By writing P's next. What is this P? P is a node pointer for me. What is P? P is a node pointer for me, right? Now this data that I'll scan from user, suppose that is 10. Where I'll scan this data? I'll scan this data in P's data. Where I'll scan this data? I'll scan this data in P's data. Okay. Now when my linked list is empty, after I execute this particular operation, P will be the only node in my linked list which will be remaining, right? So what will be the next of this particular node? Once this operation is completed, how the diagram will look like? This is my start, correct? This is my start. Now start will be pointing to this first node which I have created, which is nothing but P, which is 10 containing data, and this next should be pointing to null now, because this is the only node in my linked list now. So this is what it should happen in my logic. Are you getting this? For create at start, when my linked list is empty, when my linked list is empty, right? So let us understand that for creating at start, first we need to allocate memory. First we need to allocate memory, right? After allocating memory, we should check whether linked list is empty, or there might be second situation also, that linked list is not empty, right? So linked list is containing some element. What is the second situation? Linked list is containing some element. We'll see example for this also, that linked list is containing some elements. Linked list is containing some elements. So based on that situation, we need to write certain code for linked list is empty and linked list is containing some elements. But whatever is the case, we should allocate some memory for our node in that, right? So let us go back and write logic for this. Okay. So again, this will be a menu driven program of linked list, right? So I'm declaring one choice variable, and then I'll write this menu driven program in the form of do while loop, if you remember, right? So what will be my menu? My menu will be, first is create at start, right? Second is all the operations we are going to mention, create at end. Third will be create at given location. Fourth will be delete at start. Fifth will be delete at end. Sixth will be delete at given location. And 7 will be traverse. As we have traverse for stack queue, similarly we'll be having traverse for linked list also. And last option 8 will be exit. We are going to do this step by step. Even if it looks there are a lot of operations, we are going to do it step by step in different videos. Okay. So first I'm going to scan choice, right? and based on what choice user has entered, we will be having different cases in our program, right? So what is our case 1? It is create at start. So I am calling a function here that is create at start. I am calling a function that is create at start. So I am going to write logic for this particular function now. Instead of writing everything in one area, I am going to use the code in the form of function. Similarly, there will be a case 7 for traverse, right? So we'll do our program step by step. We'll first run create at start, and we'll traverse and see whether our create and start is working properly. And then in the subsequent videos, we'll see other type of insert or create operations. Okay. So this will go for break, and what is our case 8? Case 8 will be exit, which is nothing but break, and we are going to add a default case, right, which will be incorrect choice, So the structure of our program is now there, and here will break when choice will be equal to 8. So till it has not become 8, the option is not exit. This particular loop will keep on executing again and again for our program. Are you getting this? Okay. Now we are going to write logic for create at start. So I declare a function here like create at start. So I declare here void create at start kind of function. Okay. I declare here function that is void create at start. And let us write definition for this particular function now, that is create at start. Create at start. Okay. So what is create at start? First we need to allocate memory, right? So for allocating memory, I told you that we are going to use one external reference pointer called as P. So this is how I declare that external reference pointer P. P is the node which I am currently trying to create for me, right? P is not a permanent name given to that node. It is just a reference pointer. It is not a full-time name given to any node. Okay. So it is just a reference pointer. Okay. So how I create? So P node pointer, and I'll be using malloc function, I told you, right? Malloc will take input as size, and size for our example is size of node. So this is how we create a node using malloc function, right? This is the syntax for creating the node using malloc function, right? So P is that node which has been, P is the pointer which is pointing to the node which has been created now, right? And we can access the data inside that P by P's data, and we can access the next link by writing P's next, as I have shown in the earlier slide. Okay. Now based on our linked list is empty or linked list is containing some elements, we have to go for next operations, right? So we can write meaningful message to our user. We haven't written that message, that enter the element. So user will add those values, right? Now when our linked list is empty, that time one situation will be there, and second situation when linked list is not empty, right? If you could recollect the logic over here that we have seen, one case is when linked list is empty, and another case is when linked list is not empty, it is containing some element, right? So when linked list is empty, that time start is equal to null. When linked list is empty, that time start is equal to null. So right, so if our start is equal to null, we will be writing some logic for linked list. Otherwise, else will be the logic for linked list is containing some elements. So I hope you are getting the structure of program now, right? Now, if linked list is empty, now we have to read that piece data, right? And even if the linked list is not empty, but still we should read that data, right? So reading the data can be done common. The reading of data can be done common. So I'm writing that outside, right? I'm scanning the data. Where I'm scanning the data? In P's data. Where I'm scanning the data? In P's data. This is what I had written in this slide, if you remember, right? How I'll access the fields inside that P? By writing P's data and P's next. So we are scanning the data in P's data, right? So P's data has come, 10 has come over there. So if you remember from our slides, this 10 has come. But now what links we need to establish? Now this P's next should be made null. P's next should be made null, and start should be defined as this node, that is P. So we need to write two things now, that is P's next is null, and start is P. Okay, so what logic will write? P's next is null and start is P. Are you getting this? Two statement, P is next is null and start is P. This is how I'll create the only node of my linked list now. Now second situation, that linked list is containing some elements, right? So let us draw something. So suppose my linked list is not empty. So it is already containing some elements, right? So this start will be pointing to some node in that case, right? So suppose the earlier node which we had created, that is 10, is present here. There might be some other nodes also, say for example, okay, I am taking some random example, 20. So linked list is containing some elements. And now I want to create the new node. So this is the P now in our case. This becomes the P. We have scanned P's data. We have scanned P's data. And the logic that we are trying to implement here is create at start. Create at start. So this node now should become the starting node. Now if this node becomes starting node, okay, now if this node becomes starting node for us, then this node's next, that is P's next, should be pointing to, this should be pointing to the existing start, right? This P's next should be pointing to existing start, and then this start will be defined as this P. Then only this P will become our new starting node. And then the linked list will look like 30, 10 and 20. I once again repeat, right? So in order to make this P as starting node, first this P's next should be made as start, right? And then start as P. Now suppose if I write the sequence wrong, what two statements we are going to write? I write it here, right? What is P's next? P's next will be becoming equal to start. P's next is start, right? And next start as P. Start as P. Now suppose if I interchange these two statements, it will give me a different answer altogether, right? Suppose I do first start as P. Start as P. Now this node will no longer be the starting node because I have changed the value for start. And then if I do P's next is start, it will create a cycle for me over here. So we should be careful in writing the sequence of statements also. First use the value of old start and then change the value of start to the new node, right? So let us write these two statements in our code now. So what is this? P's next is start and start is P. First we'll make P's next as existing start and then we'll redefine the value of start as P. So this is how the node will be created at start. So we created that node, but how I'll come to know unless and until I traverse it, right? Right. So first let us see with this, let us see the logic for traverse. Let us see first the logic for traverse. Okay. So for traverse, consider a case that your linked list is containing some elements. If your linked list is empty, start will be null. You will tell to your user that your linked list is empty. And if your linked list is not empty, if it is containing some elements, you need to traverse it, right? So how I will traverse this? So I'll show you the example. So suppose this is linked list. So I need to traverse, right? So this is 10, this is 20, and this is 30. Okay. So for traversing, I should go to these nodes one by one and I should print its data. So in order to move on these nodes one by one, I take another reference pointer that is Q. I take another reference pointer that is Q. Initially, I assume that this Q as start. Initially, I assume that Q as start. So this will become Q because this node itself is my starting node, right? So I'll print Q's data. I'll print Q's data. After I print Q's data, then I'll go to next node. How I'll go to next node? I will make Q as Q's next. I'll make Q as Q's next, right? What is Q's next? What is Q's next? This node. So this will become my new Q. This will become my new Q. Then again I'll print Q's data. Again I'll print Q's data. Again I will do Q is equal to Q's next. So I'm doing this in the form of loop. Again I'll print queues data. Again I'll print queues data. And I'll do q is equal to queues next. Now here q will become null. And I'll stop my loop. Are you getting this? So this process of printing queues data and jumping to the new node by writing q is equal to queues next has to be continued till your queue is not becoming null. The moment queue becomes null, there are no more nodes in your linked list and you can stop your traversing process. So let us write logic for this now, right? So we have traverse function over here. So let us declare that traverse function also. Void traverse. Let us write definition for this traverse function now. Void traverse. Void traverse. Okay. So as I stated you that we are going to use one reference pointer q for traversing purpose. One reference pointer q for traversing purpose. Okay. So initially I'll make this q as start. Initially I'll make this q as start. While this q is not becoming null, we have to traverse. We have to traverse, right? So initially q will be start. While q is not becoming null, we have to traverse. Every time we traverse, what we do? We print queues data. We print queues data. And we jump by writing q is equal to queues next. We jump by writing q is equal to queues next. So initially q is equal to start. So it will be pointing to first node. Whether q is not equal to null? Yes, q is not equal to null. Condition is true. It will come inside. It will print 10. Then q is equal to q next. It will go to next node. Whether it is not equal to null? Yes, it will print 20. Q is equal to q next. It will go to the next node. Whether q is not equal to null? Yes, it will print 30. That is queues data. It will go q is equal to queues next. Q will become null. Whether q is not equal to null? No, it is equal to null. Condition is wrong. It will come outside. And this is how we have printed 10, 20 and 30. We put a slash n here so that every time it will print on a new line. Now this code will execute if there is something in my linked list, right? So if my linked list itself is empty, that time start will be equal to null. And that time I don't have anything to print in my linked list, right? So here I'll print that my linked list is empty. My linked list is empty. Otherwise, if my linked list is not empty, we have this particular logic of traverse. We have this particular logic of traverse. This particular logic of traverse. So this is how the traverse function is getting used. Now in order to use this malloc function, I just forgot to tell, we have to use stdlib header file so that we can get that particular function from our logic, right? So let us compile this code. Okay. Create an error expected semicolon. Oh, we have missed semicolon over here. So this code is compiled and let us execute this code now. So we can see there are 8 options we have printed, but as of now we have not implemented all the 8 options. Okay, there is some mistake with the printf also that we need to correct that at option number 6. So first I do create at start, I enter the element 10. Okay. If I traverse now, you can see 10 is getting printed. Okay, so linked list was empty first time, P got allocated, we got data in that P's data, that is 10. Again, if I am creating at start, now I give data as 20. Now I give data as 20. So now 20 is there inside that P. 20 is next should point to 10 and 20 becomes new starting node. Now if I traverse, what will be the sequence of my output? 20 and then 10. See here, 20 and then 10. And that's why it is create at start. Again, if I do create at start and if I add 30, if I traverse, output will be 30, 20 and then 10. 30, 20 and then 10. So I hope you have understood the 2 operations that we have discussed in this particular, I'll press 8 to exit, that we have discussed here, that is create at start and traverse operation. Let us quickly correct. We have not given slash n here and that's why it was happening. So this much code is only catering to create at start and traverse. We will see other create and delete operations in the next video. By the time you can revise this part of code by looking at the code which is given in the description below. Do regularly watch videos in order to understand next part of our linked list also. Thank you.